bit, I guess.
Christmas. I feel like I haven't really been able to check in today because it's just been busy. We had Christmas morning. I started a new book. I finished another. I worked on another one. And besides that, we went to James's family's house today and did Christmas with them. They had like a little lunch dinner, like around 1 to 2. We opened presents and stuff and then came back home and have kind of chilled out for the rest of the day. I watched one of my favorite holiday movies, Batman Returns. And yeah, we just kind of chilled out. We had like a later dinner since we kind of ate early afternoon. And we just like threw some boneless wings and fries in the air fryer. So it was an eventful Christmas late dinner. But the boys have had so much fun playing with toys, and they got Amazon cards from their grandparents, so they've been online shopping today and just kind of chilling out. So I've been working on my book ornament, which I am so close to finishing, but it's taken me so long, you guys, this year. And now I'm starting to second guess myself on if I need 2 ornaments, because I don't even have all of November in here yet. I've made it to mid-November now, so I have to finish November and then fit all of my December reads in here too. And I just don't know if it's gonna happen. I actually made mine last year and then had to get a bigger ornament for it because there was just too many books. So I had to redo mine this year. It's really hard to see, but it says 2023 on it. And then these are all the books. Besides one, I found out that I'm missing 1 book in here, so I gotta add that this year, and then I gotta put a bow on it so I can hang it, but it's my book ornaments. I have so much fun doing them, but they take forever, and yeah, I might have to have 2 for this year. That means I'm gonna have to dump all these back out and like split them down the middle once I have all my little books done, so that'll be fun. You may or may not see the finished product at the end of this video because it's taking me forever to get it done, but I did finish a book today. This one, the buddy read with my girls. We all, I feel like, landed at like a, this was fun because we read it together, but besides that, it wasn't really a great book. Definitely is kind of like a cozy, slow burn murder mystery that I definitely would recommend for the holidays, but like, I feel like you have to really like cozy, slow burn books for this to be your vibe, because if you go into this expecting a lot of murder, like bam, 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 like I wanted Clue style holiday murder fest going on, and that did not deliver. Now there is quite a few deaths in this. It's just very slow burn, so you have to kind of wait it out. And then where the plot went was so very, very questionable without giving anything away, and so many aspects of this that I just really didn't like. So many repetitive things said, so many repetitive things done. Honestly, wouldn't have been worth it if it wasn't for the fact that I was able to buddy read this with the girls and be able to update like as we went and talk about it tonight once I finished, because I was the last one. Not gonna lie, I kind of put off this one today because I did make more progress into Nosferatu. I am still not very far in, but a little bit of progress. This one I'm landing at, I feel like I could give it 3 stars for the journey with my friends and how fun it was to talk about this and roast it at times, and also like solve it because it was so predictable and so cheesy at times. But I think I have to give it a 2 for overall because I probably would have DNF'd this if I wasn't reading it with them, or skipped to the end and read the end, or read the whole thing and then would have been super mad at myself and would have given it a 1 or a 2. So I think I'm landing at a 2. It's hard because like I don't want to like get rid of this book, and now I own it and I'm like, I don't feel like I can get rid of it because it was so much fun doing this with the girls, and now it's kind of like a little token of the memory, sentimental part of me coming out. Besides Nosferatu, I am enjoying it, do not get me wrong. I'm just super overwhelmed because today is Christmas and I feel like I have so many Christmas books I still need to get to. I have my anthology I've been reading, which I said I was okay with going after Christmas with because it's very winter vibes anyways, so we're good there. This video will just be extended a little bit because of that book and go past Christmas, which with the way I'm uploading right now, it works out. But yeah, I need time to finish Nosferatu, and I was really hoping to fit in Krampus, so I may still read that tomorrow or the next day. So I thought, why not crack into another one? And you guys may have seen this earlier, the clip of it. The Most Wonderful Crime of the Year by Ali Carter. This is what I started today, and I have been really enjoying it. I have read all of that, so I've been flying through it. It definitely is a one-sitter book. It's super fun. It's funny at times, and it's just overall really silly. Rating wise, where this is going, I couldn't tell you. Could this be a 5-star? I don't know. I feel like it's been so long since I've read like a cheesy, corny romance that I just don't really know how to feel. And I find myself keep laughing at stuff that is maybe not so much funny as it is just like cringy to me. And I don't know if I'm enjoying it as much as I think I am. I don't know. It's so weird. I feel like I'm going to have to wrap it up. And I say all of that because of the fact that after midway, it's really picked up, and it is really quite interesting plot-wise at the moment that I feel like it could go in a direction. I'm hoping it's not going to be super predictable like this one. The characters are so much better than this one, but a lot of the same vibes are in these two books. Like, these two authors are being whisked away on a jet, a private jet, to go to Maggie. So it's Maggie and Ethan. They're like enemies and authors. So it's like enemies to lovers. They're being whisked away on this private jet to Maggie's favorite all-time author. And once she gets there, this author goes missing. And this author's like 89 years old. And all of the family starts freaking out, and then they're starting to question them, like, why are you here? And they're like, we don't know, we were just invited and not really told anything. And then Maggie starts to think this is a test, like she's testing to see who's going to be the best, me or Ethan. But then it spirals into maybe, or is it a test, or is it like we have to solve the mystery of who is trying to kill this old lady because of her will or because of something. And it's just spiraled into like this enemies to lovers, but like it's like the confusion, the miscommunication trope that I can hate. But I can say this author's treading lightly on it, that I'm not minding it as much as I normally would, I guess I would say. I feel like all of the other holiday, the banter, the different things going on, it kind of keeps my mind off of it. But every once in a while it's mentioned again and I'm like, I don't like that, oh, he hates me type of ordeal. I hate that miscommunication so much. I feel like, again, she's going about it in a way that's a little bit more enjoyable for me, but it's still slightly there. So if you hate that too, that is in here, unfortunately. But besides that, I'm liking the characters somewhat. It is kind of reminding me of like an Allie Hazelwood, because there was a part where Maggie, she says, at first glance, Maggie had thought the jet seemed huge, but it suddenly felt small, very small, entirely too small, because Ethan, freaking Wyatt, was stepping out of the presumably even smaller lavatory. And had his shoulders always been that wide, and had he always been that tall? He started forward, squeezing down the entirely too small aisle of that entirely too small airplane, and really, did no one care about carbon emissions? It was just very like, oh my god, Ali Hazelwood coded, which I feel like a lot of people like Ali Hazelwood's books for that, and those are the things in Ali Hazelwood's book that I've never liked. I like the like more nerdy girl that's in science and STEM and stuff like that. Like I like when she describes like the girls in her books, and they're very like strong-willed and very empowering and very like women support women type of vibe that I love. But I hate the way like the men are always described. Like I like the chemistry between the two in her books, but I hate like every page is, he's so tall, he's so big, is his arms that thick, they're like a tree trunk. And I'm getting that vibe from this book that like those are the things that I don't like from Ali Hazelwood books, that it's just, oh my gosh, it's taken me out. I keep laughing so hard, but it's like not, I feel like maybe the good laughing, like at like the funny banter or whatever, but they're cute. Again, I don't know if this is gonna be a 5-star, but I will say I'm enjoying my time with it. I'm flying through it. The only reason I'm checking in with you guys now is because I'm ready to wash my face and go to bed. I'm so tired. But I'm going to keep listening to it. I do have the audio, and it's been helpful since I've been working on my ornament. And I'm flying through it. The audio is really great too. And if you have book of the month, I think you can get the audio or the book. I got the book, and then I have the audio on a different app. I forgot which one. But anyways, yeah, I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying the ride. I'm excited to see where it's going to take me. I feel like it's, if anything, it's going to be a nice little palate cleanser between my other books that I've been reading lately that have been like super intense or like super boring at times, and something just cute and holiday. And again, one of the only romances I've read this year. Oh man. Besides that, I'm going to keep listening while I wash my face and get ready for bed, and then hopefully finish it early tomorrow morning so I can let you guys know, and then get back to Nosferatu and maybe Krampus. The list goes on and on. Oh shoot. Maybe I need to turn you guys a little bit just so that you actually see my face. Although it's a scene right now. Okay, so my camera says I have about 3 minutes to talk before I'm out of room, and I didn't realize that, but I wanted to film this really quick. First of all, good morning. I am dragging today. But I finished The Most Wonderful Crime of the Year this morning, and I don't know if I mentioned it in the last clip. Oh my gosh, I feel like I have so much to say and I don't have enough time. I don't know if I mentioned it in the last clip, but ultimately she was invited out to this like favorite author's place because it was like an invite to her biggest fan's house. And then when she got there, that's when she realized, oh my god, it's my favorite author too. So my favorite author's favorite author. I liked the beginning of this. You can tell I was enjoying myself. I was kind of like giddy. I liked the banter. But as it progressed, I had a really hard time with the chemistry with these two. Like it almost felt like it went from like this catty banter and confusion to then just like almost like an insta love, which I didn't really enjoy that much. I like the setup of this. I like that we ended up having both point of views from each of them, or the two main characters. And then on top of that, we have like the police transcript, like interview between them. And the audiobook is great. It actually sounds like an actual like tape recorder, which you guys know I'm a sucker for with audiobooks. So it's like them two talking to like this police officer about like what went down. The mystery started falling really flat for me. At first I was so intrigued by it, but then it just became super easy and predictable, and I wish I would have liked it more. I'm landing at a 3 or 4. I'm not really sure which right now off the top of my head. This could have been a 4, almost 5 though, if it would have played out more the way I was wanting it to, but it might just be a 3. I think there was cute moments. I think a lot of people would enjoy it. I just don't really know if it was for me. And I need to move on thinking that I am a cozy holiday mystery girl right now, because I'm not. I need some horror. So I'm going to go back to Nosferatu or short stories from that horror anthology. Good morning. Today I finally washed out all of the hair product and dry shampoo that I've been caking in my hair for days now. I am fancily drinking my orange juice this morning while I finish up some more little books for my book ornament. So mine go down to here and across and up, and then the rest are like my friends. But I wanted to go ahead and print theirs out as well. But I thought while I sit here and do this, I could, hopefully the cutting noise isn't annoying for you guys. But I thought I could go ahead and update you guys because I've been reading. But a couple disclaimers, we're just going to ignore the face card right now. I need a day without makeup. So this is just it today. Also, I'm aware I'm living in this sweater right now and it is what it is. I'm cold. All right, I finished Nosferatu and I'm landing at 4 stars. I was really torn on it because it's a good book, you guys. This one's a tough one. Kind of fighting myself today because I was like, should I just like take a break today? I don't want to get ready. And I don't have my thoughts completely processed for this one because I literally just finished it. But the show must go on. I am landing at a 4 because this wasn't a perfect story for me. I think more than anything, it's so long. And, you know, I love my Stephen King, and I can read 600 plus page books from him with all the wordiness. And sure, I'm probably going to make a comment like this could have been like cut down maybe 100 pages. Not always though. And with this one, this is Joe Hill, his son. So it's not like I want to sit here and keep comparing the two. But this is a book where I definitely got the same vibes as his dad. Like you can see where some of their writing is a little similar, and that is why I'm saying what I am saying. I feel like this is a really fun Christmas horror. You have definitely your scary moments. I think the idea of being kidnapped in general is scary enough, but to be kidnapped in this car and be taken to Christmas land is absolutely terrifying. And I feel like all of the descriptions of these like kids who are taken and what they kind of like then turn into were terrifying. It also is very action-packed. There is magical elements to this with this girl's bike and where it takes her. And I think I've mentioned some of it at least in the last part or this part, depending on if Editing Alley decides to make this a two-part. If I do, I will include this and just say definitely check out my last part because I think I first talked about this book in that part, if I'm thinking straight with my days. But yeah, I think it's a fun ride. I definitely think it's one of the first like Christmas horror books, or really Christmas books in general, where you actually have a bunch of like Christmas elements to it. And I liked that. I just think for me, it wasn't the story that I thought it was going into it. And I don't know why, because it's not like I really researched it and kind of knew any idea of what type of story it was. But I think it was overall just way different than what I thought or imagined this could be. And that's why it kind of was like a little weird to me. Again, I don't know why. I did read a part to my husband. A certain character is talking about like his ex-wife or something along those lines. And he talks about how, or his first wife, he says, my first wife was a difficult woman, hard to satisfy. Most redheads are. And then he goes on to talk about how the blood of a redhead woman is 3 degrees cooler than the blood of a normal woman. This has been established by medical studies. Of course, the very thing that makes them impossible to live with is what makes it hard for a man to stay away, if you catch my meaning. Can't confirm or deny if James agreed with that statement or not, because he was just like rolling his eyes at me the whole time. Anyways, I think it was a fun Christmas journey. There is definitely trigger warnings with that one. It is a darker one, and I'm excited I finally got to my first actual full-length novel from Joe Hill. And again, I love the similarities with his dad. I also really like the nods to his dad that he had in this as well, because I don't know if I mentioned that in this video or not, but there is a part of this where there is a map. If I can flip to it and actually find it, that would be great. There's like a map of the United States, but it's like kind of like squished. It has like different locations on it. This isn't really like a spoiler or anything either, but like it's like a map to like Christmas land. So there's like other ones like Giant Toys and Watchful Snowmen and, you know, the House of Sleep, different places like that. But up in Maine, it's Pennywise Circus. And I just thought that that was so cool. I feel like there was a couple little Easter egg moments, and that was really cool. But I feel like my biggest critique on like any type of Christmas book, whether it's horror, romance, whatever it is I just want it to be full of Christmas stuff, and I feel like he delivered there. So I am happy about that. With that being said, I'm going to get to cutting these out and talking to you guys about the next stories I read from Christmas and Other Horrors, because I've been busy with this one as well. The next one was Dry and Ready by Glenn Hirschberg. Is that how you say his name? This one was like almost like a ritual type of tradition where it's kind of like a generational one. So it's grandmother, daughter, and then daughter, you know, so like granddaughter or grandmother, mother, daughter are going to this like cemetery of sorts to like pay their respects or whatever. And it's like a tradition they do every year. And it's like the only one that's really vibing with it is the grandma, and she's like dragging the other ones along to go with her for it. And they're just like not having a great time. But it's like really creepy and eerie because apparently the daughters, okay, it was either the father or the grandfather, one of them made a bunch of animal like wood carvings and put them in like this forest, and every year he would make them go and pay their respects to their loved ones. And it's like each one of their loved ones have like a wood carving. And whenever they go, you know, they do like their respects or whatever. And now that they're dead and they're not with them anymore, it's just the grandmother her daughter and then her daughter. And again, they're not really vibing with it, but like the grandmother keeps saying like, we have to do this. And she's like being so serious about it. And like, they're just, okay, you know, and almost like a forewarning, like, we have to do this. This is serious. You need to take it seriously. Like, and then they're like acting like they're going to do it. But they're like, I don't really care. And that leads into like, what happens whenever you don't pay those respects. Apparently from the afterword, there's touches of Hanukkah and a Yiddish type of culture going on in this story. It was really creepy. I gave it 5 stars. I thought it was really good. I liked the writing a lot too. The next one was Last Drinks at Bondi. I feel stupid, but is it Bondi or Bondi Beach? This one by Garth Nix. The boys have video games going downstairs that are so loud, so I'm like, keep that door closed for now. This one, I feel like I'm already forgetting. I didn't really enjoy this one as much. It was like godlike creatures and they would prey on each other, and I don't know, I kind of wanted more from the story and knew even then that this was gonna probably be forgetful. I landed at a 3 with that one. Next was Return to Bear Creek Lodge. And this one was by Tananarive Due. And it was rather long for this collection, so I was excited about that. Don't get me wrong, it was really entertaining. It had really good messages to it, taking on like generational trauma. Pretty much like the grandmother was dying and they're like at this house, like where she is. It's almost, it kind of feels like a comfort care or like hospice type of situation. This boy goes in to see, I guess like his grandmother. I forgot how they're related. I think it was his grandmother. And when he goes in, he sees this like worm, like, I forgot how it was described, but it was like, I want to say it was like a worm mixed like with a possum, or like a worm mixed with like a rabbit, some type of like, or beaver, I don't know, some type of like furry animal mixed with a worm. It was like really weird, but he seen it like in the bedroom with her, and then it like scurried out the window, and later it's like he's like being like haunted by this creature and wondering like what it is, and it just like went and vanished out in the woods. And then like him and his family, or one of his family members later, like go out to the woods to like look for it. It's super creepy, but they find like this hole in the ground, and that's it. This monster's like gone. His uncle or whatever starts giving him this really weird vibe about it, and he's like, so you do know about this monster. I feel like what I gathered from it, it's like the monster that's lingered over them, and because there's so much like hatred in the story towards what people in their family have done and what has kind of been like held over them and passed down, generational trauma. I liked it. It just felt a little slow in places, and I didn't love it as much as I thought I would, unfortunately. I did land at a 3-star with that one as well. Oh my god, look at this cute little Jurassic Park. They're not the cutest. Then, trying to not get my notes confused, then it was The Ghost of Christmas Past. Oh my gosh, this one was so good. By Richard Kadri. I don't know if I've ever heard of this author, but I want to read more. A take on Krampus. From the get-go, we learn that this girl is like terrified around this time of, or Christmas time of the year, of a witch who she says when she was younger came and ate her brother. So every year she nails up her house, like boards it up, nails it up, so this witch cannot get in. This year, her husband is like, all right, you know, I've played into this like every year, like, can we just have fun with the holiday and not go through these motions and stuff? And she's like, dead serious, like, no, like this is a real thing. And so they're like trying to navigate that. That's kind of all I want to say. It's a good one. I don't want to spoil it for you. I gave it 5 stars. Then it's Our Recent Unpleasantness. And this one is by Stephen Graham Jones. Really excited for this one. And for good reason, because it was so good. I gave this one 5 stars too.
I might be a little biased, but it gave me like, what is it? Night of the Living, is that what it's called? Night of the Living Mannequin? Or did I just pull that out of my ass? I want to say it is that though. It's his mannequin slasher book. That's the vibes it was giving me, like pacing wise and story wise. And it was just so unhinged and scary at times. Pretty much this guy is like walking his dog and he ends up being kind of like a peeping Tom. He sees this woman that's like undressing through a window, so he just like starts watching her. And once she sits down at her vanity, like she's, you know, getting ready for the evening for bed or whatever, she's like looking in the mirror, and all of a sudden she like pops her head off and sets it on the vanity. But when she sets it down, she turns it to where it's facing him and looking at him outside his window. Oh my God, it was so creepy and such a good time. Obviously there's more to the story than that. It goes more into like winter solstice and kind of like a curse or like a glitch, or if you will, I don't know. Like that was just the vibe I got from it, but I loved it. I gave 5 stars. And then the last one I've read since I've left you guys is All the Pretty People by Nadia Bolkin. And this one starts off with like a holiday party and it's going well and stuff, and all these friends who haven't seen each other in a little bit are getting together for this party and they're all there. Well, then somebody rings the buzzer and they're like, who could this be? Like, we're all here. And it's kind of like one of those friends that you had many years ago and then you guys kind of like fell out of touch for whatever reason, and they are just randomly showing up at this. And for them, it's a mutual friend that they all had like a falling out with. And we soon learn why there is, for one, a falling out, what happened between them. And it just unravels into this like unhinged revenge type story. And I had a really good time with it. I gave it 4 stars. And I am almost done cutting up all my little books. I am now to my holiday books, which is so exciting. I might actually be able to finish my book ornament this year. I even printed out, I'm ahead of the game because I even printed out the book that I forgot for my last year's ornament. So I'll be able to add that one. I have the end of the year books that my friends have read for theirs to add. Look, Nosferatu and Christmas and Other Horrors. They're so cute. I have my little stack right here of all the ones I have to finish. I have to put them on their little like foam and cut them and then get them in the ornament. But that is about it. I have a couple more because I'm still hoping to get to Krampus. And then I'm hoping to get to at least 1, if not 2 more of my Goodreads horror 2024 this year, but I don't think it's gonna happen, you guys. Maybe get to 1. I was really hoping to finish all of them this year, but yeah, it is not happening. I'm running out of time.
I hope they play Hot to Go. This is Sky High. I can't even see the children.
Left you guys, I have wrapped up my reads for the year. I have gotten horribly sick and I'm just now feeling like myself again and human again. We are officially in 2025, which is so exciting. I hope that you guys have been having a wonderful new year. And it just so happened to work out while editing. I realized my footage was going to be way over an hour, so
Welcome to part 2 of this, going from Christmas to the new year, but I wanted to wrap this up with my last couple wintry reads that I wanted to feature in this video, and one of them is Krampus. I did get to Krampus. I was just very, very sick while reading this, so I didn't film my thoughts. This is obviously about the Yule Lord, but it's also much more than that. We follow Jesse and his family. Jesse is separated from his wife, who is now seeing a sheriff deputy, and they have a little girl, Abigail, together, and Jesse's trying to navigate this new part of his life where he wants to get his wife Linda back, and is obviously feeling that jealousy and rage tendencies, and we find out how corrupt this small town is, especially within the sheriff's department and law enforcement, and that brings in Dillard, who is now seeing Jesse's wife and is trying to get Jesse out of the picture. But then on top of that, we're thrown into the world of Santa and Krampus and all of the other Yuletide beings. And this is another Brom, so the illustrations are absolutely stunning of Krampus. And here we have Jesse, and then Isabel, who is somebody who works with Krampus. Then we have Santa Claus and his wife. Very different Santa Claus and characters for sure. We have some other little characters that come into play because we learn that Krampus and Santa really have it out for each other, and while Krampus is saying this holiday season is about Yule and the winter solstice, we still have Santa who wants to deliver presents, and they all become intertwined when Santa is attacked and the Santa bag falls down into Jesse's house, and he starts to realize how he can pull stuff out that he wants from this bag and tries to win back Linda and Abigail with that. Meanwhile, Santa's trying to get his bag back with his clan, and Krampus is still trying to destroy Santa. And it's just this adventure, action-packed read. Very much is holiday based, and I loved that. I loved all the aspects of Yule and the winter solstice mentioned, and even the story of Krampus. Dare I say Krampus was my favorite character. I really enjoyed it. Definitely pick it up if you haven't picked up this Brom. I'm not surprised that I'm landing at a 5-star with another one of his because I absolutely loved Slewfoot, and I can't wait to get to more of his. I thought I would show you guys my now completed ornaments. I wish that they were a little bit fuller. If anything, it's going to motivate me this year to even it out a little more. Let's see if I can get maybe 90 to like 100 in each of these and have 2 again this coming year. But I just think these are so cute, and it's so cool that there is so much room and space to shake them around and be able to see all of your reads. And I know I'm going to absolutely love getting these out every year and looking back over the years at all the different books I read and which ones were my favorites those years. I just love these so much. Also finish up Christmas and Other Horrors. There was quite a few left that I did not mention. We had one from Josh Mallerman, Oisnona. I know I'm butchering that. A Finnish sauna tradition gone haywire. So it is about this couple who are visiting the girl's parents. So it kind of is based on the guy and his father-in-law, and they're in this like sauna, and it's one of those where the sauna's outside and you go and you jump into the water and do like a polar plunge and then you go back to the sauna tradition. And what's really cool is that Josh Mallerman, his afterword, talks about how this is something that his wife's family does, and so it was something new to him and he thought it'd be a cool concept. And this guy, as he is doing this with his father-in-law, it's new to him and you have to do so many rounds over and over, so it's already kind of tiring and exhausting and, you know, really working up the momentum, but he also is kind of spiraling in another direction mentally, hearing things, and the sauna ultimately like becoming kind of like a truth room confessional type ordeal with the father-in-law. I had a good time with it. It wasn't a solid 5 for me, but I landed at a 4. The next one was Cold by Cassandra Nah, and this was kind of like an apocalypse during winter solstice. She said, what inspired the story was exhaustion, really. Sometimes I get tired, sometimes I look at the world and all the malice in it, all the hatred running unchecked, all the pain that exists and the joy some people take in causing hurt, and I wonder if we deserve seeing another sunrise, another spring. Sometimes I wonder if it's easier to stop fighting and keep my head down to focus instead on surviving. But then I think about how happy it'd make those bastards for me to lay down and die, and I get up again, ready to upset them with my existence. And the story is definitely based on that. It's almost just like this like battle of like this character wanting to give up during this apocalypse, but fighting through against all odds and against others' wishes. I really liked it. It was still rather confusing, which I now see is definitely a tendency with Cassandra Nah's work, but I landed at a 3 with this one. The next one was Grave of Small Birds. This one was by Karan Warren. Kind of on a play of the 12 Days of Christmas song, because there is mentions of that throughout this, but there's like this festival where a bird comes in, and backstory, this island that they live on, they don't have birds. Like all the birds are pretty much extinct except for this festival where these birds will come in, and there's like urban myth and legends about why they don't have birds, and it's because in the past, people said that birds were women who turned, or men said that women turned into birds out of kind of to like escape or to show the men up. So they started killing off all the birds until the birds didn't want to come to the island anymore. So now the tradition of this island is every year there's a festival where a bird, a wren, comes in and she picks the prettiest girl on the island. And we follow this girl who everybody tells her she's the prettiest girl until this new girl moves in. So we have kind of like this jealousy going on. Bird picks this other girl, and there's just this rage and jealousy that spirals into unhinged territory. I enjoyed it, but I did land at another 3. Then we have The Visitation, and this one is by Jeffrey Ford. This was definitely my 3-star rut because we have another 3-star with this one. This is a take on the whole Mary and Joseph needing a manger and the talk of inviting visitors in or not being able to turn people away. Apparently in some religions, it is a tradition to, I think 3 days up till Christmas, not turn anybody away because of this whole Christianity story with Mary and Joseph. So this couple let this person in, and the wife is not really okay with it, but the man is like, my mom always taught me, like, you have to say yes and let them in or you get bad fortune for the rest of the year, and things go south for them. Then we have The Lord of Misrule, and I landed at a 4-star with this one. This couple learn that the guy has a long lost child who is 5 years old, and he springs this on her and says, I want to go visit him for the winter solstice. But he's very weird about it. He is kind of dropping clues like he knows what's up and she doesn't, and she agrees to go, although it's going to cut through her holiday with her family. And when they go, she learns that this kid is like a total brat and like demands everything and is very rude and hateful for the most part.
It makes you wonder if there's something else brewing there, as far as this child maybe being something more sinister, like a Yule god or Yule lord, and there's a lot more magical elements to it. But ultimately, I just felt like where the story went was really cool, but I didn't really care as much about the build up to it, and when it actually started to go somewhere, I enjoyed it. But there was so many times when I was like, oh, they should have done this. This would have been so cool. Or this, if they did this, that would have really worked for me. So it was a 4. Then we have No Light, No Light by Gemma Files. And this was really confusing from the get-go for me. At this point, on these last 2 stories, I was just listening to the audiobook. So I think maybe I lost a bit of information that way, but from what I got from it, we were following either scientists or researchers that are like at this volcano, and they're researching stuff, and it's like around winter solstice. They're talking about like urban myths and legends once again of Krampus, or a Yule lord, and about how his body was buried in this location. And upon further investigation, just might discover him. And it kind of went into a territory I was not expecting, almost like a little romance chemistry type of ordeal. But overall, the story just kind of was interesting in parts, but then really boring in other parts. I did land at a 3 with it. And then my very last one, Afterwards by John Langan, I landed at a low 3 with this one. Very low. Bordering 2 stars. So this is about a guy who is going down memory lane of a girl who he really had it for, and he talks about how they were just kids, they were teenagers, and how he fell for her. And then he goes into all of their like sexual endeavors, Karma Sutra, and it turns into a winter solstice type of ritual where they are performing these acts leading up to the winter solstice until she cuts him off completely. And then he was like, you know, and then she got sick and things just kind of went downhill from there. And then there's like this big moment, but like throughout it's very explicit. And John even says in the afterword that like he has never really seen any type of intimacy or sexual relations like put into any holiday books, and he kind of wanted to use that and twist it in a horror sense with it. And while I can appreciate that, and the overall ritualistic side of it with winter solstice I did find was cool, what I couldn't get behind was the fact that, imagine all of that, but then this guy's not just having flashbacks of this and memories of it. He's literally in bed with his wife telling her about it. And it's just so cringy. It's set up in parts where the first part, they're like, him and his wife are like full on doing the deed. And she's like, you seem distracted. You don't seem like you're all there right now, blah, 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 blah. And he's like, oh, I'm just thinking of this other girl. And it's just, I was like, what? And then like listening to it mid putting my makeup on, I was like, because the second part, he starts telling her the story of this said girl and talking about all of this. And the wife made like really weird comments about like, well, let me fill you in on this first. While he starts the story, she is doing things to him. And then she makes comments about like hearing about him and his younger teenage self. And it just was borderline just, ooh. I didn't enjoy that. And just the whole, I don't know, so many comments that are made just as a woman, me being like, and then the wife just being like, and I'm just like, don't get me wrong, I understand like being supportive or like understanding of past and, you know, just wanting to be there for the person you love. But the way that this one was set up was just so wild and out there that I was like, yep, this is a woman written by a man. Yeah, what a way to wrap this book up. I landed with 1 2-star, so that's great. 9 3 stars, 5 4-stars and 3 5-stars. So ultimately, if you've been around for a while, I tally it up that way, and whichever one I got the majority of, that's what I give it. So I'm landing at a 3-star with this anthology. And this, I will say, has inspired me to read more anthologies in 2025. So that's one good outcome of this. And with that being said, I'm ready to tally up my Holiday Hell-A-Thon and end out this video. I can't remember where I last left you guys off, I think in the last part, but I think I was like at 3 Santa, 3 Elf, maybe like 4 Krampus or something. Since then, I've tallied up the rest of my books, and all the movies I've watched all month long, so I thought I would go through them with you. Only 2 of my movies, 4 Christmases and The Holiday, went to Santa. I had no more go to the Elf, and all of my other books for the month and movies of the month all fell into Krampus. So I will somehow give you guys a visual, maybe like the first video where you guys can kind of see Santa, if it's this side. Whichever side it is, you'll see Santa, the Elf in the middle, and then Krampus on the other side. Depending on if I can fit them all, you may just see Santa, Elf, and Krampus. I did land with 5 Santa, 3 Elf, and 22 Krampus, so I am definitely on the hell side of things with Krampus. But I also wanted to go through the activity prompts because I haven't really went through those. And I thought I would with you guys because I started going through them and tallying them up, and I wrote down which numbers I have of each, but I thought I would explain a little bit more in detail. So for the nice prompts, I ended up with 10 for the activities because I did go to a holiday dinner. We had one with family. We actually went to 2, I think, different holiday things, and then I also planned a girls' night for like winter solstice. So that happened. Play outside in the snow or watch snow winter themed ambience. We have not had snow yet, but we have watched ambiances with sprints or just in general. Christmas morning we had a fireplace going on the TV. Ornaments, as you guys have seen, I made my book ornaments. I also made a holiday themed DIY bookmark. I crocheted some red Christmas bookmarks for my friends this season. The next one is kind of like having a buddy read, and I had the Christmas murder game buddy read with my friends. Decorate a tree, I decorated many. Decorate your home, I did do that. Borrow a book or movie from the library or from a friend. Definitely borrow books from my library every month. Attend any type of holiday themed event. We went to our local Christmas parade that they do every year, and the last one is listen to holiday or seasonal music, so I did that. So that was 10 nice activity prompts. For the naughty list, I did play a game with friends or family. I did an advent calendar. We have one that we do every year. I did make a cocktail this Christmas. We also finally got to our Christmas cookies before the end of the year. Singing holiday carols, definitely. They're always in my head. Usually I catch myself in June, like humming a tune, and I'm like, oh, that's a Christmas song. Why is it in my head? So that definitely happened. Take a walk or drive to see lights or decoration, said Christmas parade. Work on a craft of any kind, definitely did that. I did some journaling, I did some crochet, I did the bookmarks, book ornaments, quite a few things. Read a book or watch a movie in your PJs or in a cozy spot, absolutely. Treat yourself to a book, movie, a beverage of something you enjoy. I definitely did that. I just bought Krampus. I got my book subscriptions not too long ago. Attend a Holiday Hell official sprint or live stream activity night. Oh, I wish I was able to attend more. We were so busy between Roman's basketball schedule and just holiday things in general. It was almost impossible, but I did pop in a couple of times. And I have, of course, used them during my days for that motivation and just kind of having company while you read. The last 2 is drink anything with seasonal flavors. I believe I had the the sugar cookie Starbucks latte, and I'm sure we've had more stuff. I know we've had the sugar cookie
coffee creamer in our fridge. I'm trying to think. I'm sure there's others too. Hot cocoa, different like peppermint and stuff like that flavors. And the last one, eat something seasonal. We had our Christmas cookies. I'm drawing a blank, but I know we had other seasonal things as well that we do every year. So tallying that up, I am at 12 for the naughty activities. And I don't know how to do those. Do I just cancel them out and say, okay, my activity prompt goes to Krampus? Or do I have to give each number? Either way, Krampus wins, so I guess it doesn't matter. And that's it. That's the video. I had so much fun participating in the Holiday Hell-A-Thon. Go check out Kelsi for future readathons and just for her content in general. It's amazing. She just started a new channel, so I'll link it down below too, where it's all movie-based, and I'm so excited for it because I've already set a goal for myself to watch more movies, especially horror, in the new year. So I'm excited to check out her content over there, and you guys should too. Once again, thank you, Kelsi, so much for having another successful readathon. I had so much fun. And I hope you guys all enjoyed my reads in my video. Let me know if you read any of these, what you think of them, and I'll see you guys in my next video.